All right, something interesting is happening in the Elite Dangerous community here that is typical of Frontier development, and one of the reasons why they enrage me and literally trigger me, because they take so much time to do things, but they don't really explain sometimes what they're doing until it's after it's done. Now, what I'm talking about is this split in Horizons and Odyssey's progression here. Listen to what has just happened. Listen to what Frontier Development has just done. And then I will explain it to you guys after I read this. But it says, greetings, commanders. Get ready for this. We hope you enjoyed the recent alpha for the PC version of Elite Dangerous Odyssey. Okay. There are many out there who got involved in it. Welcome to the fam, Apple. We need this, because it's going to get ugly after this. Thank you once again for your feedback and suggestions, which will have a lasting impact for all future commanders. It was an alpha. There were some bugs. There were some exploits that happened. We know we talked about them last week. We saw what they were. We laughed. We had a great time. This only marks the beginning for Odyssey, which is fine because that's what happens in alpha, right? But listen to this. After the game launches on the 19th of May, we'll continue tweaking and balancing according to your experiences, just as we have done in the past. We know there are still a number of questions from the community, and today we'd like to give more information on the shared galaxy between Elite Dangerous Odyssey and Elite Dangerous Horizons. Now, I'm not saying anything yet. Let's keep reading. Now, from the PC launch, here's what's going to happen. All Elite Dangerous Odyssey players will gain access to the new features, including planetary improvements, enhanced lighting, and textures. The differences will mean that Elite Dangerous Horizon players cannot share a gameplay session with those playing Odyssey. Let that sink in for 1 second. Thank you, Dutch. Dutch got it right off the bat. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Just let it sink in for a moment, okay? However, Odyssey owners will be able to share a session with and play with those in Horizons if they do this. Launching the game in Horizons mode. Now imagine. This is so stupid. This is like, there's so many levels of stupid to this, okay? There's so many levels of stupid. If you just upgraded and you got Odyssey, basically, why the fuck would you ever want to go backwards and put yourself in Horizons mode? This is what I'm talking about with the Elite Dangerous player base. They are asking for it. They ask for this shit because there's so many people that frankly are so pussy about the way they play the game. That is the way I think. If you guys have a hard time dealing with that, okay. If you guys don't agree with me, that's fine. This is my own opinion. There are so many people who are afraid to play in multiplayer mode that they made a solo mode. You guys remember that? Happened years ago. They did a solo mode. Okay, these guys don't want to get hurt. They want to play that way. Go ahead. That's fine. Do it. Right? But when something like this happens, don't be fucking surprised that it happens. Because that is the player-based mentality, at least the loudest version of it that's being heard. That is what the developers are developing to, that loudest segment, which isn't always the right segment. It's not really, the loudest people, generally speaking, are not really the people that you should be listening to all the time. Like, imagine yourself, you're in a ER and your family members in some serious life endangering shit, and they're laying on a gurney bleeding, right? And there's like this dude who's yelling like, you guys gotta do something here, get these paddles, like put this motherfucker on there, pop these paddles on him, everything's already okay. He's just yelling at the top of his lungs on what you should be doing. But the doctor is like chilled out, standing in the back of this dude. Now you're gonna look at the guy who's causing a ruckus, who's got the paddles right here ready to go shocking, and he's yelling as loud as he can. Okay. And then you got the doctor. Hey, man. He's just behind him waiting for this guy to stop yelling. This is what this is kind of what I feel like happens a lot, not just in Elite Dangerous, but in a lot of game development. You've got so many loud people using Reddit and other forums, and people just like blah, 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 and people like will gravitate to it because they're like, oh shit, this must be the way it is. This must be the way it is. And the developers go, well, I guess this is the way that it is. We better develop it. This is why these things happen. This is why these things happen. So if you upgrade to Odyssey, don't worry that it's not shareable, because you're going to be able to click into Horizons mode and play with the Horizon people that are completely left in the fucking dust. This has never happened before, by the way. This is craziness, right? I think the amount of development that had happened and the progression with the development split it into a different fork, if you will. And the only way that you're able to have like a shareable, playable experience is through this this new mode that they're going to create. So stupid. You just split your player base, like Dutch said. You just literally split your player base. You are killing yourself. You're killing the Elite Dangerous franchise. Now, I know a lot of people are going to agree with this. I think anybody with any level of intelligence listening to me right now will agree with this. They might not agree that they're pussies. They might not agree with the fact that I think Elite Dangerous is all elite and no dangerous. That in fact, it is so elite and no dangerous that I call it erectile dysfunction. They might not agree with that. But I can tell you what they will agree with what I'm saying right now is when you cut your player base in half, you literally just pointed a gun under your chin, you pulled the trigger, and you didn't really kill yourself right. You did it wrong. The bullet ricocheted off your jaw and maybe hit the front part of your brain, and then you sat there bleeding out for the next 3 or 4 days shitting in the bag. That's kind of what they did. This is the craziest part here. It gets even crazier. Shit. Console launch onwards. Okay, these are for the console players, okay? In line with the console launch, we plan to update Elite Dangerous on all platforms. PC, PlayStation, Xbox, to allow Odyssey and Horizon players to reunite and play together with other users on their respective platform. Wait. All Horizon players will also receive the new graphical updates, including the new planetary tech, lighting, and organics free of charge, but will not be able to get out on foot or enter Odyssey's tenuous atmospheres. But so what we're saying is we just fucked the PC players in the ass, and we said, have a nice day. Grab your ankles. We're going to fuck the PC players, which is really the original Elite Dangerous player, the hardcore Elite Dangerous mofos, where we started out on PC. You guys get to grab your ankles and get fucked. The guys on the consoles, we got everything cool. It's all set. Hey kids, everything's cool. If you want to talk about lighting a match on a giant pool of fire, I think you did a really good job, Frontier. Like, what are they thinking? What are they thinking? This is so many layers of stupid. I haven't seen anything like this in a very long time. I haven't seen anything like this in a very long time. And I hope this gets shared and you guys are just as mad as I am. For all the talk and for all me getting upset with the way Elite Dangerous and the direction that has gone lately, just let this be a shining example of what I am talking about and why I get so pissed off. And why it is so hard for me to get back into Elite Dangerous. When Erad, my friend, the Eradicator, when my friend the Eradicator, he starts talking about, wow, the AI is really good, and like I'm really impressed with this DG. What's wrong? Why don't you get into this DG? Like, what's the problem, DG? I don't understand what's going on, DG. You should really get back into this, DG. What are you doing, DG? You're crazy, DG. I can't believe you don't like this, DG. Every time I hear this is what I want him to see. This is why I don't get back into these things. This is the very reason, because the people who are running the show are literally shooting themselves in the head wrong. Just get it over with. Put 2 under there. It's just like, this is why, Erad. This is why, dude. This is why.